protein source. And you can see that this is similar in several parts of the world. There are a couple of pictures from Vietnam, from the Congo, but also from Peru. And this is indistinct, no? It can happen anywhere. And the other threat that was mentioned, I mean, there's also a rise in Asian markets for Latin American and Caribbean products, not in Mesoamerica. And that's also something to keep an eye on. And here are some samples of those species that have an increase, that are of increasing interest because of these Asian markets. No? And yeah, that's also why it is so important to keep track of information, to have databases that actually can show you the trends, no? And really be able to link the drivers of this increasing trade in wildlife products. No? So the driver might be an increase in population from a particular region in the world, like Asians that come here, and you can link that to an increase in citrocomber consumption, for example. No? And so that gives you tools. That gives you a tool to plan ahead, to know what do we need more capacity on, what do we need to learn about, to have more tools and control. And maybe if we can see that in advance, we'll have enough time to change the legislation, to do reforms if necessary, to train people, and not wait until it is too late and the resource has been depleted from our country. But also one of the things that we face, and usually we don't like to talk about, is corruption. No? Unfortunately, Latin America has a lot of corruption, and this was taken from Transparency International report for 2015, and the more red, the more corrupt. So you can see that our region has nothing to be proud about on that front. No? And yeah, I mean, that's a fact, that's a reality. We live in this reality. There's a lot of corruption in our countries, and that's also something that we have to consider. And that is why Tim's comment was very, very important. Even if the institution might have a lot of corrupt officers and bureaucrats, there is always good people in each institution. And those are the ones who are committed, who really want to do things right. And we have to support those good people in all institutions and make these really good groups of people who can work together and who can make a difference, even within this really difficult situation of a corrupt system in many instances. No? And that's not exempt to Mexico or to Belize or to Guatemala. I mean, that's something that we face, all of us in Latin America, and also within regional bodies and instruments. So that's something to keep an eye on, and we have to consider. And the other thing is also that wars and conflicts also have an impact over wildlife. No? In Mesoamerica, you know, there have been armed conflicts, there have been a lot of social problems in many countries, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala in the past, and in the recent past. I mean, we're talking about just a few years or decades ago, there was a lot of problems, and that can cause impacts in wildlife. In the one hand, sometimes the fact that some armed groups are in certain parts of the country